Good freaking morning, evening, and afternoon, or wherever you're from. Welcome to another episode of Price Tag Aquariums. I'm your host, Joe, and we're going to have some lunch together and talk about fish stuff and whatever else we're going to talk about. So, thanks for coming in. And like the title says, we have fish and shrimp. Marie, hide your eyes. Don't watch me eat these. But yes, shrimp. So yeah, welcome in everybody. I hope everyone's having a great week. And I hope you guys are taking care of yourself, enjoying life. And we'll see what happens today. But anyways, I thought I'd do this live stream as something different in the afternoon so that way all the UK folk can come and join in and have a little bit different of a crowd. So we'll see what happens. What's up, Jim? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's fried shrimp. So I already told Maria to hide her eyes because, I'm eating shrimp. But hello, everybody. Thanks for coming in. I'll probably open up eventually to whoever wants to come join in and talk about whatever they want to talk about. But some good news. My channel actually inspired my good friend Tim. He was on our live stream last time to get his own fish tank. He got a 29-gallon and he got some tetras and mollies. And I set him up with some beneficial bacteria and stuff. And he set it all up. I got him a stand and everything. And he went out and got the tank and everything. And that's fantastic. That's the whole purpose of this channel is to help get people inspired to get into the hobby and stay in it for the long run. So that's fantastic. I'm trying to help him out with that as well. He's had a few fish die on him, but we're getting through it and we're going through the learning process. So it'll be fun. Oh yeah. That list of names. That's right. You're still working on it. It's all right. Maybe I should set a deadline for that, Marie. Because that's what I had to do in school is whenever I did something, I actually had to create myself a deadline in order for me to get something done. If there was no deadline, I wouldn't get anything done. But yeah. Hello from sunny Scotland, Mr. G. Thanks for joining in. Mr. G, let me know your... if you don't mind, let us know who you are and like your first name and where you're from and what time it is. So we can all see, meet everybody and where everyone's at and have a good one. Martin. Oh, okay. All right. You got to add that to the list because I'm not going to remember Martin and Mr. G. But cool. Welcome in, Martin. I got to say this shrimp is really good. I'm not a huge fan of box dinners per se, but I think this is like TGI Fridays or something like that. I don't know if you guys have TGI Fridays in the UK, but it's pretty good. You have it right next to me. Yeah, if you want to do that, you can just take a picture of it and send it through Discord or something like that. That'll work. Oh, he's been on the list as I know his name. Gotcha. Reducing my snail population with melon kebabs. I reduced my snail population, Martin. Want to know how I did it? I got cichlids. And they just disappear. They're all on the very back of this tank. You guys can't see it, but it's on the back wall behind the aqua decor decoration. That's where they all went to, of the ones that survived. Breaded shrimp, the same as scampi here. I think scampi is like, they consider scampi here in the US as just like shrimp, and they just put like, sometimes they might put garlic on it, or like scampi is just almost like a plain Jane sort of thing. This is kind of like fried breaded shrimp, so it's different than scampi. I always think of scampi as just buying it from the store and just, do whatever you want with it sort of thing. Well, it's good. It's really good. I know people here in the United States, especially around where I'm at, there's probably a lot of people at work, but it's all good. Huh, that's different. That scampi is breaded there. Scampi ain't shrimp, says Martin. Hey, shrimp is shrimp, though. Honestly, it's probably one of my favorite seafoods, other than like, if you guys ever heard of Maui or mahi mahi, or grouper. That's a really good fish to eat. Especially when I went to Dominican for our honeymoon. The shrimp there and the fish were just like phenomenal. Like the taste of it and like everything was just so fresh, and it was almost like they had just caught it and then they just put it on the fryer and then they just served it to us. It was freaking awesome. But yeah, looks like we have 3 people in here. It might take a bit for more people to come in, but we're going to see how this live stream goes on this Thursday afternoon. And I know that there's Fishy Bingo going on right now on Aquarium Daily. I just joined their Discord recently. I didn't even know they had a Discord, so that's pretty cool. I thought about creating one myself, but I don't know if I would get enough members to join in, because there's so many of them out there that it's hard to keep up with everything. And I'm sure even like with the channels, to keep up with all the comments and videos and stuff, it's hard to. I know, and people who have a higher channel than me with more subscribers and content, I'm sure it's harder for them as well. But with all that being said, I think I still have like 10 channel members on my channel. What's up, Vibes? Thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it. Good to see you in here. But yeah, I have like 10 channel members at the moment. We figured out on my last live how that all worked out. Right, just because I'm random. I think personally, I would rather like choose the people that do the memberships, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. So, but shrimp's all done except the tails. So, kind of a little insight on what I think about the membership is kind of like what I felt before. I've been trying to create shorts and like maybe short videos on what I'm doing in the fish room, so that way people have that extra perk that the videos are not edited. And it's kind of nice because I use this app on the Google Play Store with the Android called UCut, and it's really easy because all I gotta do is record a video on my phone and then put it on UCut and then send it out to get what they call it, like after you're done, you crop it to the 4K or whatever format you want, and then you just put it into YouTube. So it's pretty easy. I've been using that for a while now. If I want to critique every little thing, I can get real detailed, but I like having the membership videos as like a sort of like a live, but not really. So that way, if I say something's by mistake, people then, can correct me, or if I say something that is exclusive that I want other people to see, as far as like, here's this stand and I'm using it for this tank, or here's this fish, I want to use it for this circumstance. That way we can have these people that are like more on the inside that can help me out with certain things, which is cool. I like that. But at the same time, it's kind of like I've talked about before, like it's kind of like a catch-22, because for me being a small channel member, I'm trying to get myself out there. So if I don't want to spend like hours of time editing a video, because a lot of the long form content takes a lot of time to edit a video. And if I'm spending like hours of creating the video, editing it, and then releasing it to YouTube and making sure everything is down to a T, all the copyright stuff is good to go, but only like, say if I like right now I only have 10 members. If I only have 1 or 2 people watching it, then it's kind of like I don't want to spend hours of my time when I'm only showing this to 1 or 2 people that are going to see it, that have their free time to watch this video. So that's why I'm kind of like at this point of stage where I don't want to spend a whole lot of time, but I want it to be informative enough to say, hey, this is, a situation that I have, and let's show this, and see how many people like it. So that's kind of where I'm at with the membership situations between shorts and short videos. It's just kind of like the inside scoop of what I'm doing in the fish room and everything else. And I would show like tanks that you normally wouldn't see. Whereas opposed to, I haven't done a long form content video in a long time. I think it was with this tank that's next to me. You guys can't see, but it was the Firemouth, Blue Acaras, Yo-Yos, and the Geos, the Plecos. So shockingly enough, that tank's doing okay now, but I've had to go through a lot of fish situations to get there. But everything for the first time, I think it's been like, honestly, like a week and a half, and I haven't had any fish deaths or any disease or anything like that. So, oh yeah, people are back to school now too. I'll catch up on chat here. Scampi comes from the Italian word scampo, which is plural for prawn. That's interesting. Oh, it's all right, Henry. It's all good. I keep forgetting that people are back in school now. Like, I think the school around us just started. So, Hype says bacon, cream cheese, and smoker take shrimp to a whole new level. People love smokers here in Ohio. I mean, people love to do the slow cooking. So I think that's a really neat thing for people who have the time to do it. And especially in the summertime. What's up, Gunter? Thanks, Gunter, for hanging out. Why don't you give us a little inside scoop of who you are and where you're from? We're all here to meet each other, and we can keep that list growing of names and people that are coming in here. So thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Hey, it's was it Juanita, I believe. I'm trying to remember that one because sometimes I mix. I know that only Oscars is June. Yes, it's Juanita. Cool. But yeah, thank you, Gunter, for coming in. That's awesome. Yeah, I want to do fishy bingo, but since the last fishy bingo and pudding bingo, I think it was, it didn't happen too well. And, when I set this live stream up, I was going to do it last night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I'm trying to accommodate for the other schedule with different people to come in, especially if they're from another country and their time zone's different. So that's why I did this. Juanita, yes. Pleco called Juanita. That's perfect. Hey, no problem, Juanita. It's all good. I hope everything is good with you and that you're happy and you're healthy and keep doing what you're doing. Yep, and look after yourself. Jesse, I told you, like, this is a whole new thing, and I was hoping at least some people could stop by and say hey on their lunch break, because I just got done eating shrimp. So this is kind of like a whole different thing. So thanks for coming in and popping in for a little bit, Jesse. Let's see. Oh, okay. So Gunter is in Venezuela, but living in Germany. So what time is it over there? Oh, you might have already said in the comments as I'm going down the list. You're wondering if the pleco is pretty. I wonder, is it a regular pleco or like a bristle nose pleco? Yeah, Jesse's here. I'm with my first aquarium, and while I'm watching a lot of videos. Alrighty. Good luck on your first aquarium. Like I was saying before. Jesse, you're hilarious. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for the super sticker. I appreciate it. You are freaking awesome. I think there's another. Was there another one in here? Looks like a couple of them in here. So thanks a lot, my friend. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the love and support. Looks like Juanita is going to be doing a live soon. That's fantastic. I'll have to join in. So you said it is 6:15 p.m. So that's cool. This is why I want to do like an afternoon live stream. So that way I can get all the people that are from another country that they can have a chance to come in without being in bed, or being 1 a.m. But yeah, I appreciate it. Vibes, freaking awesome. Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to, hopefully I can make that live stream. Are you going to post it on Jesse's? So we can all know when you're going live, so we can all watch and check you out. Yeah, you guys can. I don't have a picture of that, Gunter. I don't know how to do that. 10:15 a.m. So you must be like not all the way on the west coast of the United States, but unless it's are you from the United States, Juanita? I can't remember. What's up, Jeff? How's it going? Well, I did not prep the memo for this PTAG and is not approved. You now have to pay a fine to make me in the amount of $150,000. Oh crap! Now I'm in debt. If I wasn't already in debt with a house payment, anyways, now I'm in debt to Jesse. This is crazy. Well, you'll get it in installment payments, Jesse. How about that? Awesome. You are welcome, sir. You are more than. I gotta thank you for doing the super stickers. That's freaking awesome. Yep, 5:15 p.m. So that's perfect time for you guys. So that way it's not too late. But yeah, Jesse, how's the fish room going? I didn't check your video yet, but it seems like you're just now starting to move your small tanks. If I'm seeing that, I think I saw that on Discord too. So let me know how that's going, on your lunch break. I've been kind of curious to see, I really like the progression. If anyone who doesn't know, what's his name? Yeah, I have to check that short on there, Jesse. Who was the new guy? Was it the Gunter? Okay, so Gunter, if you don't know, check out Jesse's channel. He's doing a fish move between inside his house to outside of his garage, and it's freaking awesome. I really appreciate the content where someone does something major to their fish room. It's kind of like I think Mexicali, George / Jorge. He's doing instead of doing like a horseshoe shape, he's rearranging his whole entire fish room to accommodate his situations better. So I think that's really neat to see the progression on that. What am I streaming from? I'm using StreamYard. I paid for a 1 month subscription to see what I think about it. It's kind of expensive though. Jim from Have Your Place Aquatics, he told me that if you cancel it, they might give you a better discount. If you cancel it after the first month or something like that. So I might do that. But the problem is it's just so damn expensive to use StreamYard. And I like StreamYard because it's so user-friendly and everything is just real easy to set up and it's real easy to maintain and get everything together. So I would much rather use StreamYard if it didn't cost so much money. I've used OBS. It's been a while since I've used OBS. But StreamYard doesn't stream in 1080 if you don't pay for the premium price. And I have a really nice camera, but it can't put out that great quality performance without paying that premium subscription to StreamYard, which sucks. Plus, you don't have the icon up here. I can't you can add that instead of the StreamYard icon. With OBS, it's all 1080. It might even go up to 4K because that's what my camera that I'm on right now, that's what it goes up to, and the quality is so much better. So that's kind of information. I might have to go back to OBS because I really don't want to do a hefty monthly subscription. Jesse says, "Don't butter me up." I'm trying, man. I'm trying to promote your channel out there too, because you have some great content, some very, very helpful content as well. If anyone doesn't know, check it out. Someone who is a mod post Jesse's link. I think Jesse, can you want to post your own? Oh wait, no, it looks like there we go. There we go. Thank you, Marie. That'll work. Juanita, YouTube wife. How are you doing on Fishy Bingo, Marie? Are you doing better than last time, or are you still struggling? Because you were struggling on the pudding bingo and Fishy Bingo, that you went up to the local fish store, which I get it. Let's see. Crazy bastard vibes. Badly, that's fine, Marie. I don't do very good with bingo either. I don't know what it is. I think you and I are just destined to not play bingo. Like you and I are going to be like the older folks at the bingo card, listen to cards, and we're going to be the grumpy old man and woman that are going to be like, oh, we never win this. This is bull crap. Yeah, that's going to be me. I'm going to be the grumpy old man that has to complain about everything that isn't working out for me. But yeah. So it's been interesting in the fish room. I ended up buying long story short, I ended up buying another shelf for another rack that I want to make for 255s because I still have an empty 55-gallon tank right now. And I have everything I need for it: the sponge filter, the hoses, the decorations, the lights, everything, hood, the substrate. So I have everything I need, and I bought this stand, and it ended up not being big enough. But what I have to do is I'm probably going to end up moving. This is so stupid because like sometimes whenever you go on Amazon and buy stuff, this is why I like going to like department stores like Home Depot and Lowe's, and you can actually physically see the shelf and what it looks like, and you can actually use a tape measure and measure it out and say, oh, this is definitely going to work for me. Whereas like in my situation, the crossbars that go on the industrial shelving that I bought for this, like, and this is the first time I bought on Amazon, and I'm going to keep the shelf regardless, but those crossbars, the 55 is not going to fit on the shelf because those crossbars, it's just not big enough for the tank to fit. It'll fit on the shelf, but then those crossbars that go on left and right side of it, it's just like, really? Like, so the measurements that was on the Amazon were the measurement of like the total length of the tank, and they were kind of like, it was weird. Like it was not very user-friendly for picture's sake and dimension's sake. But I am going to use it for something else. So I actually am going to end up using the one that does not work for the 55 for the 40-gallon breeders that I have. But it just sucks because I have to use, in order to get one tank set up, I have to move 2 40-gallon breeders and 1 55-gallon that are already being used, plus the other one that I want to install. So it's going to involve like 4 different tanks just to move in one tank into the fish room for a grow out tank. It's going to be a lot of work. But I'll probably end up doing that sometime next week since I go back to work tomorrow through Tuesday. Always something in the fish room. I mean, today I actually just had a fish die on me. The fire mouth, holy smoke. Well, that's good news a little bit. It's all right. There's a fire mouth that I have quarantined in a 10-gallon. He's actually like swimming around. So this is good news, because he's been sitting on the very bottom. I created a short on it, and he's just sitting on the bottom no matter what I do. So this is a good improvement because he's eating and everything, but I haven't seen him swim around in a little bit. But on another 10-gallon, I had if you guys know, there's a cichlid called a Stephen Eye Tiger. I had him in my peacock and hat tank, and he died after about a month and a half of medical treatment that I tried to, get him with. And I tried everything. I mean, Epsom salt, aquarium salt, API General Cure, and everything else. And it was just the hole in the head disease. It is crazy, like how quick that hole in the head disease can destroy fish. I was just blown away by it, because that was kind of like the ending thing. Is he didn't have pop or anything, but it just seemed he just quit eating. He had the sunken belly, so he had an internal disease. So I tried the internal medication, and then when he had the hole in the head, I tried the external medication along with aquarium salt. And when fish don't eat, they just die. And I was trying to use the liquid vitamins. I think that was the only reason why this fish survived for a month and a half, is because he was just, the body, I think, was just kind of ingesting the vitamins. But I could not, even when I put garlic on it, I tried like the cucumbers and stuff like that and everything else, and just tried every little thing I could, the zucchini, and like the krill. I take that back. I got to try the krill yet, or like the bloodworms and brine shrimp is what I meant to say, not krill. I was going to try that, this weekend, but now the fish is dead. I might still buy some just to see how the fish react to it, but let me catch up on chat here. Juanita's not a bingo player. I never was a bingo player either until Aquarium Daily came out with Fishy Bingo, and it's kind of entertaining. He doesn't do bingo either. All right, Juanita, thanks for coming in. If you are leaving, I appreciate you coming in and hanging out for a little bit. Let's see. You made many friends through bingo. That's fantastic. It seems like Aquarium Daily, it's nice to have those little games. I think that's a lot of fun because one, it brings in watch time hours, and two, like you said, Marie, that it brings in a lot of different variety of folks, all over the world, and you can make friends and stuff, all over the place. And it seems like a really neat thing to do to get everybody to get along and hang out and get to know each other at the same time while having a little bit of fun with bingo. I like the question games that they do too. The quiz ones. My friend brought me American Cigarettes Back Parliament. If you like James Dean. Did I miss anybody's important chat? I don't see anything. It looks like everyone's up to date, or I guess I'm up to date with all the chat and stuff. Yeah, I would agree, Jeff. Fishy Bingo is a change of pace for sure. It's nice to get away from like the normal content and the normal live streams, and I don't know, it's just neat. Like, I think it'd be kind of fun to kind of create like my own game and kind of do like a similar thing. I wouldn't be able to do it daily or like on a regular schedule, but like I would want to create something different if I were to go that route, because that's a really neat way to bring the community together and have a little fun with each other, as far as the games go. So that's pretty cool. Who else enjoys collecting in the wild? You might want to elaborate more on that, Vibes. When you say collecting the wild, does that mean me going out and catching a fox out there in the woods? Because if that's the case, no. Are you saying, I'm probably thinking you're thinking fish, like you're going to go out there and maybe catch like a goldfish that was abandoned in a pond, or catching like say, for example, like a largemouth bass. Like, I wonder if someone would do that and bring it home in an aquarium. We would have to be a huge aquarium. It would have to be like the size of my in-wall tank setup, but like from end to end, which would be kind of cool, but I think it would still stress them out eventually. Collecting and just fishing. Yeah, in the rivers and the lakes. That's kind of what I figured you meant. Yeah, I think that like when people do, like when they get driftwood and stuff out in the wild, I think what some people do is they like boil them in hot water to make sure that like anything that you don't want to have anything being carried over from the wild into your aquarium. So I think that's what people do. I don't do that personally. I just buy stuff in the store, or I mainly just got a lot of stuff on Facebook Marketplace. So I don't do that personally, Vibes. Yeah, Jeff, the only thing that require, I don't know about permits for us, but as far as we just have to have a fishing license. But I haven't had a fishing license in years because my dad has a pond at his own house that we fish at, that we've stocked ourselves, and then at his business, which is across the street from his neighborhood, he has a pond over there as well that we stocked previously before he moved into the house he's at now. So we have I haven't got a fishing license in years because all the fish are over there. And if I really wanted to, and if I had the tank space, or if I had the space and the tank size available, I would probably grow a bass myself, because I think that would be really cool. But I just don't have the room for it. I would literally have to probably rearrange just about everything in this fish room, and I would have to get rid of the fry operation. I would have to get rid of the breeders, and I would get rid of the fry, and I would have just big fish. And I would probably put one big giant tank on that wall as another presentation spot. And it would probably be a lot of money. And this fry operation has been really fun for me, so I'm going to continue with that. Oh, okay. So it's illegal to transport living native fish and plants without a permit here. That's interesting. Does it cost, I'm assuming it probably costs money to do a permit. I'm sure maybe that might be expensive too, and go through the whole legal process of what you can and can't do. But yeah, we got 13 people in here so far, so that's fantastic. What I guess I should ask you guys, since it's like around lunchtime, if you guys are on your lunch breaks, what are you guys eating today? What did you guys have for lunch? And if it's dinner time, like Marie, what are you having for dinner tonight? Or if anybody else, what are you guys having for, I guess, brunch or breakfast? You know, if you're on the western part of the United States, let me know. So, hey, good morning. How's it going, Stephen P? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. So yeah, money and inspections quarterly. Wow, that's crazy. That must be kind of expensive, especially for having something like that. And then if like the fish died or something, I assume we don't have to have inspections anymore. That's crazy. Yep, that's all we need here too, Vibes, is just a fishing license. And I think it's fishing license for a year, I think is like 20 or 30 bucks here. I don't think it's much. Oh, cool. Tea time. I hope it's you had New England clam chowder. I think that's a soup, right? The red or the white? Does anyone know what movie that's from? It's an old movie. McDonald's. It's 2:30 a.m. Holy crap, Greg's. McDonald's, the good old Golden Arches. All right, Marie, tell all the horses I said hey and quit horsing around. I'm sorry, I had to throw a dad joke in there. Yeah, it's all good, though. We all have to have a little bit of dad humor every once in a while. Will you be awake for your life? All righty. Yeah, that's crazy what time it is. But I've also seen Marie in here on my 8 o'clock live streams, and it's like by the time it's done, it's almost 2 hours in, and it's almost 3 in the morning. So she's a trooper. All right. Smoke break time is over. Back to remodeling and lurking. All right. Thanks, Jeff, for popping in. I appreciate it. Let's see. There really isn't much more else to talk about. I thought I'd leave it kind of open to you guys. If you guys had any questions or anything else to going on in your guys' fish room and my fish room, and then I was going to leave it open. I'll put the link in here if anyone wants to come join me for a little bit, and then we'll just go from there. Let me put the link in here, and if you guys want to join, I will put you. I think I'll put you backstage, and then we'll add you in. So whoever wants to join can. I'll be here for another 30 minutes, and if things go well, then we'll keep going. As long as we keep things friendly with everybody and have a good time, then I'm all for it. Come on down. So, all right. So my next video, this is funny that you bring this up. She says, when did you know that you could live stream without freaking out? The first live stream I did was kind of nerve-wracking, and I got more comfortable as it went. I think it took a few times before I started freaking out. And even then, like today, I still get like a few seconds of, just take a breath and just, be like, all right, we're all good. But I've gotten a lot more comfortable being on camera and stuff, and I've gotten used to it. But I think it took about 2 or 3 times for me to get comfortable. But the funny thing that I wanted to bring up, because you saying this, is on my next video, I want to figure out a way. I might do it on a live stream, or I might do it. I actually would rather do it on a video and post it, of a reaction video of me watching my very first video I ever put out on a double sponge filter. It was like, I didn't even have the beard, and it was 3-4 years, or it was 3 years ago? Yeah, something like that. I have to look on here and see when it was posted. But I want to do like a reaction video, because I haven't seen that video since I posted. I haven't watched any of it. So I kind of want to watch it with you guys, either on a live maybe, or because I don't know how I could bring that up with StreamYard, or just do it like a video. So I think that would be fun. But good question though, because I think that would be a lot of fun to kind of react and see how things go as I'm watching the video with what I think of how I did, because the video actually, in time, it actually ended up being more popular than I anticipated. So it seems like a lot of people like some of that content. If I buy a filter, or if I buy a, something that works in the fish room, it seems like a lot of people like the maintenance stuff, as a video. Like when I got the clarifier for my tank upstairs, it seemed like that did okay. And it seemed like a lot of things worked out well. It's hard to come up with content. This is another thing I was going to talk about today. It's hard to come up with content that someone else hasn't created. And the one thing that I really wanted to do is, I know that the Aqua Clear, they came out with the new hang on the back filters. And I wanted to do a review on that, but by the time that they actually became available in my area, there was already like a ton of people that beat me to it. And like Fathom Aquatics, he came out with a fantastic video on it. And Primetime Aquatics, they came out with one. And like by the time that was all said and done, I was just like, so I don't want to do it. I wanted to, but I actually looked into the Fluvol's website, and they just gave you places where it might be in stock, and they weren't in stock anywhere for me. And by the time that they were, which only happened like just recently, there's already several videos out. So I'm just like, well, what am I going to do with this? Maybe I should still get it and just do my own opinion about it. But I don't know. It's hard to come up with stuff whenever there's so much stuff out there. You want to try to be as original as you can, so that way you have a lot of content that people that they haven't seen yet, as opposed to if I come out with what's the best sponge filter, or what's the best hang in the back filter, or whatnot. Like that's just like stuff that we've seen before. Jeff says you could potentially do it as a live premiere type thing. Yeah, I could probably do that too. I've seen that. I've done that maybe like once or twice. And I would rather, like, if it's a live premiere, I kind of want to be a part of it too. Like I want to be able to be like in the background, on the bottom corner or something, and seeing my reaction to it. So that's a good idea too. I might look into the live premiere thing. I think that's a good idea. What do you do before your live stream? That way you're ready on camera. I don't wear makeup. I know it's a crazy world, but there's no makeup to me. The only thing I make sure I do is, I guess, prepare myself. Like I said before, I just take a couple breaths, and sometimes when I'm sitting down here and I'm kind of getting ready, I'll kind of like, this sounds really dumb, but like before I get on here live, I'll actually like kind of talk to myself a little bit, and some people think it's crazy when they talk to themselves, but like within like 5 minutes or so, I try to think of a quick introduction and say what I want to say, welcome everybody in. And sometimes I have like that few second, of, make sure that, you don't get nervous and everything is what you want to say, and then kind of gather it all up, within the next 5 minutes. And then when I go live, I have all that nervousness out of me, because I'm trying to get that out of my system like 10 minutes before. So I just take a few breaths, and just kind of talk to myself and tell myself it'll be all right. It'll be okay. And if I mess up, it is what it is. And if I do great, then cool. I just try not to worry about it. And just try to keep everything positive and try to keep, everything flowing as much as possible, so we all can have, a good live stream and enjoy our company together. So that's kind of the main thing, like, that I try to keep in my head is I want, like all positive vibes, and try to keep, conversation flowing, and try to make sure that everyone has a good time. And that's the whole point, is to be here and spend time with you guys, and everyone enjoys each other's company, and we all can make friends and learn from each other. So I'm glad you asked that. Your perspective is still going to be original regardless of the topic. Yeah, you can put your own personality to the topic. So with that being said, Stephen, that I could probably still do an AquaClear video. And what I could do is I could get the filter, and then what I would say is, here's what I think about the filter and what worked for me and what I like about it and what I dislike about it, because then it gives more of an original perspective. So I get that. That makes sense. What's up, Tanks and Fish? Thanks for coming in. But yeah, I think that's the plus side about, even though if something's being done a bunch of times, that it does help to put your own take on everything. Marie, which one is Shane, by the way? Is that's Tanks and Fish, I'm assuming. So you have to add that to the list. Let's see. Oh, so that's Juanita. That's what you're eating: beef with bacon and mushrooms. That sounds, anything with bacon is freaking awesome. Like, you could put bacon on almost anything, and I'll more than likely eat it. Like, maybe even I would go as far as peanut butter and jelly. Because if you put bacon on it, I mean, as long as you fry it, it's not like, I don't really like baked bacon. I don't really care for that a whole lot, but like, I would rather have it fried on like a grill or something like that. Yes. Okay. It looks like that Shane is Tanks and Fish. Okay. Yes. Positive vibes only. We want to get through all these live streams with a smile on our face, and we want to make sure everyone has a great time together. Hey, what's up, Swiffle? Swiffle's in the house. I don't know if I've seen you on one of my live streams or not, but freaking A, welcome in. Thanks for hanging out. Yes. Okay. Thanks, Marie, for letting me know. So that's Shane. The list is going to keep growing. You're probably going to have to keep updating the list as we go along, as my channel progresses and as time goes along. But yes. Hi, Shane. Yeah, that's cool. I don't know if I've seen, I like saying Swiffle. I'm assuming, I think that's what everybody else calls you. I think you've been on Jesse's live stream. I think that's what other people call you. Southwest. Oh, Southwest. Maybe is it a Florida? Is that what I'm thinking? Southwest Florida or Southwest something? Let me know. I'm still learning what all these names are. So what's up, Debs? I think I saw you in Aquarium Daily. Yeah, I think I did. And I believe I said hi to you in there. Is Fishy Bingo still going on? I haven't checked yet. What's up, Peplin? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. This is like the lunch hour for me. So when I first started the live stream, I was eating shrimp. So just to prove that I was having fish and shrimp at the same time. But yeah, what's going on? Let's see here. Banana pudding and bacon. That sounds good, actually. You know how long it's been since I've had a banana pudding? And I freaking love bananas. And I just made banana bread, but you'll never guess what I forgot, and it's not the bananas. And I didn't think it would make that much of a difference, but you would be so surprised whenever you add baking soda to things and then you forget to add the baking soda. Like, the bread was basically half the height of what it was before, and the inside didn't cook all the way through. And like, it was only one loaf of banana bread, and like, I think it called for like, I don't know, a half a teaspoon of baking soda. And like, I was just so shocked and amazed at like what baking soda does to the bread. Like, I never realized it would make, I thought it might make a little bit of a difference, but I didn't realize it was going to be that drastic. Like, if you forget the baking soda, it's like, where'd the bread go? It's half the size of what it usually is. Shane and Marie, Juanita. I'm catching up on chat with you guys. I'm trying to keep up here. Working and lurking. Hey, maybe you're on your lunch break too, and that's fantastic. So I appreciate you coming in. Okay, so that's Florida. So Southwest Florida. Can we still call him Swiffle? Is that a good nickname for him? Vibe says, on a live stream, just be your genuine self. Genuine self. Your viewers are there because they enjoy hanging out with you. I hope so. I try to do my best to make it entertaining for everybody, and I try to have a little bit of energy to bring to the live streams as well as the videos. I'm getting better, so I try to be a little bit, less nervous. And as time progresses, I've gotten better at it. So that's why I want to watch my very first video, and see how I've done it and why it got so many views. I think that'll be fun. Bacon and marmalade is nice. That does sound good. Southerly's West Florida, or Southby's? I don't know. I'm sorry. I completely butchered that. So my mistake, but West Florida, Southwest Florida. But all right, Dennis, swivel or Dennis is fine. Thanks, my friend. Appreciate it. Marie, yeah, I try to be, and I appreciate the comment, but that's why I try to be on here. I try to communicate with everyone as much as possible, and I really like these one-on-one things. I like bringing people in too, but like whenever I'm on my live stream, I just try to be like what Vibe said, like my genuine self, and I try to make it as smooth as possible. Enjoy everyone's commitment to my channel, and what I mean by that is, they're constantly chatting, so that way, like if I run out of things to talk about, that's why I like people asking me questions and leave it open to it and say, hey, let's talk about this, this, and this. And that way I can catch up on chat, and it keeps the nice flow going, and it makes it so much easier. So I try to be the most genuine person on here if I can. And if something happens where, I wasn't for whatever reason, then, you guys can like call me out on it, be like, hey, that wasn't, very cool. And I'm fine with that. Constructive criticism is fine too. But like I said before, that I try to get on here to enjoy each other's company, and we all help each other in this. That's a whole, I keep saying this over and over, and I might sound like a broken record, but the reason why I joined YouTube is just to co-mingle with everybody, and we all learn from each other, and we're all here to do this for the long run. And the whole point is to learn from each other, not to put each other down. We want to enjoy the hobby and help with different tips and suggestions and things, and we learn from everybody. And I wouldn't have done half the stuff I've done if it wasn't for all you guys to give me all these great tips and helpful suggestions. Like last time we talked about, like I said before, I still need to get the brine shrimp and everything else. I haven't tried that yet, but like the whole cucumbers and stuff thing. I mean, like this tank over here, they love the veggie wafers, the not cucumbers, but the zucchini. There we go. That's what I tried, and that worked out well too. So, I was called Swiffle one day in a live stream, and it stuck. That's perfect. I like nicknames. Sometimes it's easier to remember nicknames, Dennis. But Marie, make sure you add Dennis to the list. But I like Swiffle too because it has a good ring to it. It's either or. But I'm really glad that you let me know about all that. I think that this is the best way to learn, because if you go to like your local fish store, you might get some good information, but I just feel like within YouTube and your live streams and your content, it's nice to have the comments down on your different videos. And like for my shorts, I'm spending a lot more time trying to create short videos on YouTube right now, because right now summer's still busy. I'm still doing yard work. I'm spending time with Ash and Alana and doing stuff outside, because here in Ohio, we don't get nice weather a whole lot. I mean, in the summertime, I would say like June, July, and August, and maybe a little bit of September. But before you know it, in the snap of our finger, winter's here, and it feels like it lasts 6 months because the weather's cold. There's nothing to do outside. So that's when I usually do more of the long-term or the long-form content as opposed to just doing shorts, because I actually have time to be inside the fish room and not to worry about anything else, and there's just more time to do it. So that's why in the summertime, I'm used to doing more shorts than anything. But that's why we try to learn all together. I appreciate everyone's comment, everyone's time and commitment to my channel. It means a lot. I know it's hard to keep up with everybody. and it's hard to not like overlap each other on each other's videos. I hope you guys don't hear the heat just kicked on for the temperature control system in here. I hope you guys don't hear that. It'll kick off in a second if you do. But like I said, like it's really hard not to overlap each other's live streams and different content and stuff. Especially when you get to know so many people. But I mean, I appreciate all you guys coming and hanging out when you can, even if it's just during your lunch break, like today's example. You come in and pop in like Jesse did for a little bit from Salient Aquatics. He came in, hung out for a little bit. I mean, that's all I really asked for, is to come and hang out for a bit. And I like seeing that a lot. We are all best to stay positive and help to learn as we are all learning. Yep. I mean, there's so many things that you can learn from. I mean, you can go online and learn from different things as well. But I just think when it comes on a semi-personal basis, for a loss of better terms, it's better to come on here and get a lot of help from different people. And like I've helped my friend Tim out, and sometimes whenever you have a fish die here or there, it's part of learning. And because he called me, my friend Tim called me early today and was telling me about how he had lost a few of his fish that he had just got. And I guess in a nutshell, it's sometimes fish just die, and there's no explanation for it. I had a couple of that happen in this tank, on my new tank, on my Central and South American tank, and there was no marks, no nothing, no stress. I mean, it was just came downstairs and it was just on the ground. Knock on wood that nothing happens, because this is the longest stretch I've gone through without anything happening to a fish in that tank. But sometimes it just happens, and I don't know personally anything about, like, I guess on a side note for Tim's situation, he had rainbow fish, which I think is like the glowfish, I'm thinking, the tetras. And I don't know anything about them. I don't know if they're too dainty or anything. He got those with mollies, and the mollies are doing just fine. But it's just sometimes you just got to learn and go with everything. And sometimes that's the best way you learn is, when sometimes fish die, and you just got to try to figure it out and get wherever help is possible. Yeah. The yo-yos and the pleco, I've heard very good things about the like zucchini and cucumbers and stuff. We talked about that on my last live stream. I didn't know Swift was called Dennis either. So that's thanks for adding that onto the list. I think you might have brought that up last time, Maria, on the live stream, that it was called courgette. I just forgot about it. But like zucchini, like that's just, it's so interesting. This is why I like learning about different countries and stuff and what everybody calls everything. Vive says, if you could start price tag channel over again, would you do anything different? I really don't think so. I don't think I would do anything different. The only thing that would be different is I've built up a lot of confidence over the last couple years or so, and especially doing the live streams, it helps to build that much more confidence up. So honestly, like, I don't think I would. I wouldn't change the name price tag. I wouldn't change the way that I've done things down here, because I would actually, honestly, if I were to do it all over again, I would. Learning how to build all the stands, learning how to extract the eggs from the female's mouth and put them in an egg tumbler and then watch them grow. That whole process has just been phenomenal. And like just learning about imbunas and setting a different tank setup back here and learning their whole attitudes and everything. It's just a neat thing to see and watch. And like, I don't think I would change a thing. I'm actually pretty happy how things worked out. If I would start fish keeping over, what would change? I would probably, if I started over, I would probably go with the bigger fish instead of all the small fish. Not that I'm saying I dislike all the small fish, but I would probably go with the bigger fish. Like I was talking earlier, I would get like one of the smaller bass, one of my dad's pond. I would buy just one big giant tank setup, and I would probably put like essentially like a pond tank and put like bass and maybe crappie and what else did we put in there? Bluegill, something that would be like a pond, but essentially in a big tank, in the house. And that's one thing I would change. Yeah, Jerome, it's hard to keep up. I mean, like I said before, I'm doing my best to try to keep up with everything as well. But thanks for coming in, Jerome. I appreciate it. It's hard to keep up. I know. I get it. Yes, and anyone who likes these live streams, go ahead and hit the like button. I appreciate it. It seems like there's a lot of different things going on with channels, and someone's at your door. It's me. No, it's not me. It's my evil twin. Don't answer the door vibes. Juanita says, I found my last guppy male on the floor yesterday morning, and it really bummed me out. Yeah, I mean, that's my, I was talking about my friend Tim, like he just started his aquarium, then he just lost all his tetras. So you could tell in the sound of his voice, he was really bummed out, but that's sometimes, like I said, you just have to learn from it and move on. I mean, honestly, I'm still pretty bummed that I lost 40 fish. I came down one night and there was 40 fish dead in my tank. So it's like, it's hard to get over stuff like that. I get it. The picture frame tank is awesome. Thanks, Jerome. There's actually 2 of them. My in-wall tank setup, Jerome. If you haven't checked it out already, go on my videos and look at the video from my in-wall tank setup. If there's any, if Marie, if you're still here, which I'm hoping you are, you can maybe find that video and post it on the chat. And that way Jerome could find it through the chat and he could watch the video of how this all got set up. It's pretty neat. Let's see here. Just do what you do, dude. It's called YouTube for a reason. Just be you. That's kind of a neat thing to say. I never heard that before. I mean, it makes sense. You know, you do you, boo. It's just one of those silly phrases that I just thought of just because of what you said. But honestly, I mean, even if you find something that's been done before, it's nice to be able to do what you want to do and see what kind of things work and what things don't. But I think that's a really neat thing to say, and I appreciate that comment. Plecos like zucchini and not cucumbers. Okay, so maybe I have to, because I noticed with the yo-yos that I have in the other tank over here that they like the cucumbers and zucchini, but like the wafers and the zucchini, like the pleco never touched. Or I'm sorry, the cucumbers. So maybe I should just try zucchini with the plecos, and maybe they'll have a different result. I'll have to check that out. So Swiffle Treasure Detecting. Did you subscribe with your other channel, Swiffle? Because if not, it's free. Hit that subscribe button. And anyone else who's in here for the first time, if you haven't already, it's free. Hit the subscribe button. And just saying. But Swiffle, thanks for the reminder. I swapped from big fish and now going small fish. Did you like that? Do you prefer the smaller fish as opposed to the bigger fish? Because I'm wondering if it's more of if it's a bigger heartbreak, say if you lose a fish that's, you know, I don't want to say a pleco, but like a genuine fish that you spent a lot of time taking care of and raising up and then having it for several years, I feel like it would be more of a heartbreak, you know, whenever you raise them from a small fish to like a 6, 8, 12-inch fish, and then they just die, and it just sucks. You know, I can see that being a little bit more heartbreaking. How does everyone find time to watch all this good content in this fish community? That is a good question. I sometimes I don't have the time. I try to, but it's difficult. And Vibes, I try to catch your content too. A lot of times my work schedule interrupts everything because some of your live streams with Curtis, I try to make, but at the same time, I have to go to bed early for work. So by the time you guys are live streaming, I'm already in bed. I can watch them sometimes at work on night shift, which is cool. But most of the time, you know, I have to try to keep up with everything. And sometimes it's difficult. You know, it's a challenge. When did I decide to come back to the hobby? I decided I could not have the fish I do not like. That makes sense. Yeah, I get it. Hey, what's up, George? I'm glad you stopped in. How's your fish room progression going? Is it, are you halfway there? Are you 75% of the way there? Or are you kind of stuck in between, you know, moving things around for now? Because sometimes that can happen. I know for sure that happens with me. Listening while building racks. Okay, so you're like in the midst of doing everything. That's perfect. Thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it. George, I want to kind of ask you how things are going with you. I've been trying to keep up with like your Instagram posts and like your YouTube stuff because it's like just like with Jesse, it seems like you and Jesse both are kind of doing some fish stuff with the with your fish room, moving it around and stuff. And I think it's, like I said before, it's really cool to see that. So I've been trying to keep up to date with both Jesse's and your channel because it's really neat to see the progression of everything. Are you, George, are you building these yourself then out of like 2x4s and stuff? Is that kind of what you're doing? Or did you buy some racks, you know, from the depot store or your local store? Losing a bigger fish is harder to me. I have a connection with my bigger fish. Yeah, so I'm thinking like, Vibes, you have those front toes. I'm thinking in my head, like if you have like a black widow or something like that, a front toes, and I feel like that would be harder for me to take in because front toesers are slow growers and they can live like 20 plus years. So let's say if like you spend a lot of time and effort raising these things and they do really well and then just one dies, it's kind of like, I know you have several of them, but I feel like it would be hard to get over that. So that's kind of what I think. I was just looking at one of my 20-gallon long tanks that's got a bunch of OB peacocks, and the male was chasing one around. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. I did ask you something. What did I ask you? Let me see what I can. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. Someone was talking about Jerome. If you're still here, we were talking about my in-wall tank setup. If you can, Marie, post the video of my in-wall tank setup with my channel, so that way Jerome can see it and watch it, you know, from the chat and click on it from the chat, so he can watch it later. If you would do that for me, that would be great. I know he could go on my channel, but if he's still here, he could just click it on the chat box, and that would be really helpful for me. I appreciate it. A little guppy. Those things multiply like rabbits, though. So if you have more, then they'll make more, just like mollies. 2x4 racks. Sweet. That'll be fun. Are they? What size tanks are they? Is it just the same tanks you've had in your fish room, or did you end up buying more tanks? That sounds like a big project and also very exciting because it's like what Vibes was talking about earlier. He was saying about if I would change anything with the fish room or in my fish hobby, if I were to go back and restart everything over, if I were to change anything about my channel, would I? And I honestly wouldn't, because it was so much fun building both my 10-gallon rack and a 20-gallon long rack. And it was just so much fun to do it all. And I would have a hard time actually getting rid of these. Like if I were to go bigger and not do the fryer operation anymore, it would be hard for me to move away from these racks because I learned so much with it and had so much fun building them. So I'm sure like if with your building yours with your tanks, it takes a lot of time, but it's also a lot of fun doing it. Oh, Jerome is still here. Back to Fish Channel. Yeah, you could probably put that one. The one I was thinking of is I thought there was a video that just had the progression of whenever this wall was not here and then it was here. I could try to find it too if you can't. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Jerome, if that works, is that the one with my brother, Marie, that you sent through, or is it the one to where there was nothing here and then it shows, you know, the completed project? Either or works is fine. I like the one with my brother. That was a live stream, so I think that's different. So whatever one that goes from start to finish would be the most ideal one, but either one's fine. I don't know who Mr. G is. I was thinking the one where it goes from start to finish, George. Marie might have got that for me. Let me go check this out here. Give me 1 second. Yes, Marie, that's it. It's a 6-minute video. It's a quick setup. That one is perfect. That's the one I wanted. So Jerome, check out that 6.5-minute video of how everything started, because It's pretty brief and pretty simplistic. I didn't want to make it too complicated, so that way people got to see the whole entire video. Yeah, George, if you want to join in, do you want to join in on the live stream? You can kind of show us what we're doing, or show us what you're doing. I can put the link back in if you want. You're more than welcome to join in with me. Let me know. It'll let other people who haven't met you before meet you as well. I think that would be phenomenal. Okay, let me throw this on here, and hopefully I do this correct. Bam. Let's see if I can do this right, because this is the first time I've had someone backstage before. So let me see if I can do this correctly. Usually I just have someone join me on live. So there we go. All right, let's add him to the stage. Hey, George.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm fantastic. How about you?
Oh, just taking a little break now, but
yeah.
But no, right now the fish room's a mess, obviously, because I'm moving stuff around but
yeah, I've seen that.
I know I haven't really posted. I mean, I've been doing shorts and I've been doing Instagram posts, but to be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna do a video per se, because I haven't sat down and, you know how you typically sit down and you'll do
progression,
description and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't really taken the time to do that and sit there and tell people, oh, this is what I'm doing or all that. But I can share with you how it's coming along, I guess. And those of you that have been watching my videos will recognize where I used to sit, and you'll see what's missing. So let me flip the camera around.
Okay. For anyone who doesn't know, Marie, or I don't think Jess is here, but if there's any other channel members, just drop George's channel in there for anyone else who doesn't know, like maybe Jerome or anyone, so that way we can follow you as well. But yeah, go ahead, George.
Well, this is typically the door that I used to come out of, and then when I used to walk in here, this stuff it used to be laid out like that. This hasn't changed yet.
Okay.
This is something I need to tackle. That stand is the one that I'm currently working on over there.
Okay.
It's going to be, what I'm doing is I learned I don't want that tank on the top. It's a 150. So I'm going to transfer it to the bottom. And then on top of that, I'm going to put a 50-gallon lowboy where I'm going to change all these shellies and put them in there. So it'll be that one on the bottom, and on top of that will be the 50-gallon lowboy, and then it's going to get turned over against the wall. So it no longer will be here. This whole rack is getting redone. I love the cinder blocks when I first started out, but it takes up too much space. You're looking at 6 inches, that's 12, and that's 18 inches that I'm not able to utilize because of the width of the cinder blocks.
So
and then I need to.
You're kind of like trying to fit more space in, so that way you're using the 2x4 racks system in a sense to give yourself more space for your tanks then.
Correct, because you can see that these are no longer on the stands that used to be there.
Yeah.
The stand that was here was a 10 gallons. It used to have 6 10-gallons on top.
Yeah, I remember
and these two in the bottom, but they had a lot of space because originally it was going to be for a 45 that was going to go under there.
Okay.
But I ended up putting that 55 in here and did not use the rack. And then I had initially moved the rack over here to this wall, but it was taking too much space and I was not utilizing all the right space for the tank. So I built this. This is the newest rack that I've built for all 10 gallons.
See, that's the thing that I kind of want to do, but like, because my 10-gallon rack, like we did on a while back on your live stream when you invited me to your stream, is we were going through that, and my tanks are like the opposite direction. And I think at some point, someday, especially if I need the space, kind of like what you're doing now, that you need more space, I'm probably gonna have to make another rack to line up my 10s like how yours are.
Well, ideally, I wanted these to be landscape instead of portrait the way they're now.
Yeah.
But it takes up too much room. And I needed to be a little bit more efficient because I'm kind of limited on the space that's over here. I need to turn this door around so it opens towards the exterior because it's taking away 32 inches that I could use. And
space. I get it.
Yeah. So I know I'm gonna have to do some research to how to flip the damn doorway.
My brother would be phenomenal with that. I don't know anything about that.
See, I don't have any friends that do construction here in town. That's unfortunate. I know several guys that are on on YouTube, but
Yeah,
none here locally to me. So
it's kind of just going by what you know and by YouTube. So I get it.
Yeah, so these are all messed up right now because I'm just worried about getting them off. There was like 4 of them that were on the ground. The way I'm going to do this is I want to have eventually I want to be able to sell fish out of here locally. So these will be where I'll keep a lot of that inventory. Right now they're occupied with stuff that I, just kind of been playing with.
Yep.
But eventually this will be like the little store. And then over here, then this rack used to be right here, where there's bucket and that stuff that used to be here, and it used to complete that U shape where I used to sit.
Thing that you were talking about.
Yeah. So I moved it over here, which I'm not 100% sure if that's where it's going to stay, because one of the things that I ended up sacrificing was my splash sink. I don't have it there anymore.
Oh.
It was never hard plumb. So I need to figure out, because it's sitting over here now with collecting stuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it's at. I'm trying to build a rack right now. That's what I got all that lumber for. That's gonna sit this one on top at the very top, and those 220s, so I can get this stuff out of here and open up the space. Now I got to deal with that 55, which I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with it.
And but that's kind of going to be landscape setup too, or it's going to be like a vertical or a front and back setup.
No, they're probably going to be landscape exactly the way they are, because I don't want the rack protruding out too far this way.
Yeah. That'd be hard to do with those.
And don't get me wrong, I did think about it for a second, because what was I thinking about putting on top of that? I think it was that 60-gallon that's there, because it's got a weird profile.
It does. It's a lot taller than like a 60 breeder.
Yeah, it's 36 inches front. I think it's like 18 inches deep, but it's almost like 28 inches tall.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty tall.
So yeah, it's a very, I liked it so far because it's my angelfish grow out. They have that vertical area to be able to swim.
That's convenient for angelfish. Now on your 50-gallon low boy, what's the dimensions of those things?
It's 48 inches front, 24 inches deep, 10 inches tall.
Oh wow!
That's why I want to invert that. I want to get that 150 at the bottom, because then right there I got to get on a step ladder to try to do maintenance. Yeah. And I had to buy that stupid magnet up there to be able to do maintenance on it, because my arm wouldn't be able. I could scrape with the scraper just right about here, and everything else was just
almost impossible. Yeah.
Because I didn't have, my arms weren't long enough, so I had to buy that thing, and it works great. I mean, I'm not knocking it, but I wish I could have used that investment for something else. But yeah, the room's a mess. It's just stuff laying everywhere. My dog's over here with me.
He's helping out too.
Well, he's making sure that everything's okay. He's a supervisor. Say hi, Toby.
He's a good supervisor.
Oh yeah. And so that's kind of what I got going on, but it was easier for me to show you than to try to explain it in text.
Yeah, instead of writing a book and through YouTube, that makes sense. What do you put in the 50-gallon low boy then? What is your plan for that one?
Oh, I have some shell dwellers, some Neolamprologus multifasciatus that are going to go in there. So basically, I'm taking Jason's idea from Primetime Aquatics.
Oh yeah.
And doing that, and for a short second there, I thought about putting it on casters, building just an exclusive rack for it on casters, so that I could move it wherever I wanted in the fish room. But that could probably still be a possibility. I'm not going to discard it.
I always hear Jason talk about the low boy tank, but I've never actually seen it. So I'm just trying to think in my head. I'm just like, what is a low boy tank, and what do you put in one of those things?
I don't know if you're going to be able to appreciate it, because I got all kinds of junk on it. But I love it because it's not very tall. And for the shell dwellers who primarily dwell in the bottom, anything that's vertical, like right now, I'll show you, I have them in a 29-gallon, and it's totally pointless because they they don't occupy the top part. And then with
There's
these
no
shell
point to
dwellers,
have that. Yep.
these shell dwellers, you really can't keep any other species with them. So these are the guys. These guys that are in here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them.
Yeah, I can see them.
Yeah, they're all hiding in there. Well, these guys would rather have more volume, more surface area. So
Okay.
I want to change them out of this. It's a 30-gallon, and I'm going to put them in this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, the profile of the low boy. You can see it's not very, very tall. Well, that's why I love it. It's only that tall there, but you have all that surface area because it's 2 feet this way,
Yep.
48 inches down.
Oh,
It's only
wow.
10 inches tall. So
That's a cool looking tank, though. It's very unique, you know?
well, they were originally made for fragging, whether they were trying to grow out frags in saltwater.
Yeah.
That was the initial intention of those aquariums. But
That's
us
interesting.
as freshwater people decided that they would be cool for something else.
Yep. Multi-use. That's perfect. That's cool. I like it.
So yeah, that's kind of what I got going on. But I'm gonna jump off of here because this is your stream, and I just came up to show you what I was doing. But
Hey,
I'll keep
I
hanging out.
appreciate it.
No problem. I'll
Yeah,
keep
you're-
hanging out and listening.
Sounds savvy. I'll be on here for a little while longer, so thanks for stopping by, George.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for letting me come up.
Yep. All right, have at it. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I've always kind of interested in people's progress and stuff, and I think it'd be fun to maybe if Jesse did what George just did, you know, on a live stream, just to kind of. I think he's going to do it. Now that I think of it, I haven't watched his shorter video that he just put out. That he's going to do it on a live stream. Now that I think of it, I think he is doing essentially what George did for me just now. He's going to do a live stream of moving his tanks around and stuff. So that's pretty cool. It's neat to have George come on here and explain everything that he's doing. So that way it doesn't have to have like a whole explanation of it. It's easier to just show and tell, which makes sense. So thanks again, George. I appreciate it. Marie, thanks for posting George's channel as well. So anyone who doesn't know about it is able to see. Let's see. Is there anything else in the chat that I had missed that I need to catch up on? I don't see anything. Oh, there was Vives asked me something. What is one favorite thing that you do every week in your fish room? What is one thing that you enjoy about every content that you do? That's a multi-step question, but I like it though. Vives, if you're still here, what is one favorite thing that you do every week in your fish room? One favorite thing that you do every week in your fish room. Honestly, as stupid as this sounds, like I don't mind tank maintenance, but it kind of gives you that sense of accomplishment that you get everything done and the tank looks phenomenal. Like I just did like a major cleaning on the Aqua Decor tank for the first time with the Frentosas and Blue Dolphins. And it just made it change like into a 1.8, not like it was bad, but like sometimes tank maintenance, whenever you're done with everything, it just makes you have that sense of accomplishment that like, wow, I'm really glad I did that because I needed it, you know, it was a lot worse than I thought it was. So I guess that kind of makes, whenever you do a bunch of water changes and get stuff done, it kind of, I don't know, I just like that sense of accomplishment. So that's something that I like doing water changes on, you know, and I do that once a week, you know, depending on where I'm at. I might do the set of 10s one week and I'll do the 20s another week. And then I'll do the big tanks another week. So, I mean, it's just once a week. It's basically down to a T of one thing I like to do. And if you don't like tank maintenance and you think it's a chore, then you might as well not even be in the hobby, in my opinion. What is one thing that you enjoy about every content that you do? I like hanging out with you guys. I like the reactions. I like the comments. I like the feedback. And I guess if that makes sense, the one thing that I enjoy about every content that you do is I want people to be able to give me feedback and give me helpful tips, suggestions, and show me their fishing, just like George did. And just give me a lot of like when I buy a new fish and people have like real nice positive comments about it and saying, hey, I really like this, or hey, I really like that. Like that's the kind of stuff that that I really enjoy about that. So I'm glad I caught up on that question. Thanks for asking that, Vibes, and I'm glad I saw that. I'm gonna keep going down. Vibe says, George, get a bigger fish room. Oh, that was the thing I meant to ask. If you got a quick second, George, I meant to ask if your fish room was like part of your house or if it was like a garage, because I know Jesse's moving into his garage. So if you wouldn't mind just letting me know real quick, because that's the question I meant to ask before you left. Holy smoke. Thanks, Vibes. You're quite generous today. I appreciate it. You are freaking awesome. Is there only me dropping a like? All right, George. All right, thank you. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Because that's what Jesse's doing, is moving his fish into garage. So that's cool. Thank you. I see 14 likes on here so far. So if you guys haven't liked the video already, maybe kind of hit it up real quick if you can. Whoop. Does anybody else have any other questions for me or anything else you guys want to talk about? It seems like this video was very productive, and I was only expecting to be on here for about an hour or so, and it's really nice to be able to be on here as long as I have the time for it. It's really cool to be on here for a little bit longer, especially if I have a special guest in here or if someone wants to ask me some questions and get to know me more and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. I like to keep it mostly fish related. I don't like to get like too off topic, and if so, that's fine, but I kind of like to keep things central based, because that's the kind of the vibes that I want to give off for this. Vibe says, what's your future goal for the channel? I keep saying this, but my goal is to, like what George was saying, he wants to sell his fish locally. And that's one thing I want to do too. So that's my goal is, once I get this last 55-gallon grow out tank set up, then I want to maintain everything, which I still have been. I got the room temperature controlled, so that was one thing I wanted to make sure to do, so I don't have to worry about any heaters in the tanks. And my main goal is to sell fish locally here too, because once the fish get bigger, some of these fish, like the sulfur head lithobates, if you guys look that up, especially on why do I always forget? Imperial Tropicals, yeah. If you guys look on Imperial Tropicals, and even like the fish store that's about an hour from me, Aquatica, some of those fish go for like $60 or $70 a piece on a not full grown, but like somewhat full grown, because I have a full grown one upstairs in my peacock and hat tank. So it's just patience as when these fish get bigger, and I could probably sell some of them now for probably like $5 or so, $7 or so, give or take. But that's my goal right now, is to eventually get a business here as well. What's your teams? Like sports teams? My teams is, when we had cable, I was more into sports. And I'm from Ohio, Northeast Ohio, by the Hall of Fame, the Football Hall of Fame. And we used to watch a lot of sports, but I don't watch a lot of contact sports. Like I don't watch any hockey. I don't watch football, which I know people here in America, I mean, football is like really, really well known here. I feel like there's not a single soul that doesn't watch football, because like everybody at work watches it. They do the fantasy football stuff. I mean, maybe it's just me and the people that I'm around that are constantly watching football, but I just feel like that's just like a popular thing that people do. I don't, because like I said, I never got into contact sports when I was younger, and my brother really never did either. So it was just my dad and my brother, they watch the Browns, but they don't really I think they go to a game once a year, I think. But the teams that I like is I used to watch, I mean, whenever I did have cable, I'd watch like the Cavs. And then, but now I just watch the highlights because I don't have cable anymore, because it's way too much money. and I just have internet only, so I do streaming every once in a while. But I do like the Cavs. You know, I know the most about them. I've been to several games with my dad and my brother and my wife. We've all gone to games together. Us four. It's always been fun. We've brought other people around too as well. So, and then we used to like not avidly, but we would watch the Indians here because I won't call them the other name because I were the Cleveland Indians, and we've always followed them. Ever since I met my wife, Ash, and we got married we met in 2010 and got married in 2013. And her grandma used to watch the Indians. And I never used to get into baseball a whole lot, but then I slowly got more and more into it. And then when we had cable, we'd use it as like, whenever the games were on, we just leave it on as like background noise. And then we'd watch like the last few innings and stuff and see how things go if it was a close game. And we watched the Indians actually in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, when they were in the World Series playing against the Chicago Cubs and went all the way to Game 7 in extra innings. And that was a lot of fun because you had like a mixture between like 50-50 of who liked the Cubs and who liked the Indians. And that was probably the most fun I've ever watched in any sporting event, is not only being in Dominican Republic, but watching these games or watching this game specifically in a big giant area full of people. And it was just, they were so into it. I mean, going to Punta Cana, on a side note, was alone a great experience, but just being in that amazing vibe along with watching the game and everyone's high-fiving each other and all the workers are, you know, giving out beers and high-fiving each other. It was just a lot of fun. But yeah, it would be, so Swiffle doesn't like watch football. Well, that's two of us. We found two of us that don't watch football. Where do you, Swiffle? What does that mean? I'm kind of following back here. The Cavs are it's the Cleveland Cavaliers, so it's Caves. Or no, oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. Cavs, I think abbreviated, but just look up Cleveland Cavaliers. Hey, look, we got Mickey's Aquariums. I don't know if I've ever seen you in here, but thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I live, or where do I live? Okay. I live right near I'm about, I would say 10 minutes away from the Pro Football Hall of Fame in that area, near Canton, Ohio. Edinburgh and Hibernian. I probably butchered that as well, so I apologize. Soccer, like some people in the is it the UK they call it football? Like they call, like, you have to say football Americano as actual like football, or as football is more like soccer for them, I think. Over here, not many of the fishing people watch. Okay. Yeah, I wonder if people more like soccer over there. I'm kind of guessing that's why. Oh, so Mickey plays bingo, Joe. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna have to try to play more fishy bingo. Hopefully we'll have better luck. Hopefully Marie and I will have better luck because we suck at bingo apparently. Vives doesn't watch football either, but I did hang out with football for the first time ever. Okay. Yeah, I'm just not a big football person. The offish. That's maybe I should be calling that. Maybe I should be saying that I'm in the office right now. Oh, so he's in Ireland. Okay. Oh, here we go. That's hilarious. I thought, see how I took that? I'm gonna have to mute Discord here for a second. I hope you guys don't hear that. But I thought you guys were saying like I'm hanging out at the office, like this is my office, and I just now realized that we have someone in here called the office, which is hilarious. I like the pun on that. Welcome in. Close enough. Yep, close enough. Cavs, you get the picture. Johannes is there Johannes? He must be from the UK as well then. Been here before, Mickey's? Okay. Yeah, soccer is big over here. See, that's what I thought. I figured that was the case, whereas here we have like football. Okay, Johannes. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Johannes? I'm thinking of like Johannes Brahms, like the composer. which is a very unique name as well. But thanks, Mickey's, for coming in. I appreciate it. We're still kicking. We got 17 people in here. It seems like the longer I'm here, the more people hang out, which is cool. I really like that name. Or is it called O-Fish? I'm thinking off-fish because I'm thinking off-fish, you know, so I might steal that from you every so often. Swedish. Okay, perfect. So off-fish is Swedish. That's fantastic. Hey, Jim's Fish, you finally made it in. Jim's, if you since you're just now coming in, if you want to scroll through some of the replay, we had George come in recently and kind of give his little rendition of what he's doing in the fish room, which is kind of neat because it's relative to, I guess, semi-relative because every situation is unique to each their own sort of thing with their fish room. But it's kind of like what Jess is going to do on his next live stream is moving his tanks into his fish room in the garage. So that's kind of like what George is doing. He came on a little bit ago, Jim, that he kind of shared, which was very nice of him, that he came in and kind of shared what he was doing in his fish room as the progression of what he was doing, which is pretty cool. And I like seeing that. It's really neat to see that progression. Joe is legit. Yeah, keep going, guys. We have, I think last I looked, we had 14 likes. So if you guys haven't already or haven't subscribed, liking it is free and subscribing it is free. There is an option for a channel member for a couple bucks a month or something like that. I kind of gave everybody a little short rendition of my thoughts about the whole channel membership. I try to keep up with it, but I'm not going to. I like the channel membership and I like the chat stickers and stuff that Vibes have been doing. I thank you again for doing that. But the membership, it's like I'm trying to get myself like fully monetized with the whole 4,000 watch hours. Was it 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers? So I'm keep trying to go that route. So if you guys in the chat haven't subscribed already, please do so. It'll help me get to that next milestone. But yeah, thank you, Marie, for throwing that in there for Vibes. You know, he's a good dude, man. I mean, but yeah, if you scroll through, I don't know exactly the time frame of when he showed up, but if you scroll through, I might be able to find it here. I have my YouTube actually on replay. He at about, it says minus 26.25. It doesn't help me. It's subtracting. I would say, roughly speaking, I've been on here live for an hour and a half, maybe like an hour and 15 minutes in, I would say. Well, if it's 25 minutes, so I would say an hour and 10 minutes in. Maybe an hour and 10 minutes in is when we had George come in here and kind of give his rendition of his fish room, which is pretty cool. And the Firemouth, you must have watched my short to where he was just sitting on the ground and that's all he does. Let me go look real quick. He's very shy, but he's doing well. So I guess I really can't complain. I mean, he's eating and he's just hanging out in the bottom. When I walked over there, I did see him swim around a little bit. So it seems like I don't know if it was just stress. Like I said, he didn't have any marks on him, any diseases or anything like that of being bullied or anything. But I want to see him be a little bit more lively and not so like maybe he just likes being a loner. You know, I mean, who knows? But he's doing well and he's eating. But you have to really, whenever I feed the Firemouth, I actually have to stick my hand halfway into the water and like feed him and like actually open up a spot where the river rock is and actually like pinpoint that exact spot where he's sitting. So that way he still eats. Otherwise, the food goes in between the river rock. And I thought about getting rid of the river rock completely, but there's a lot of like beneficial bacteria that sits within that river rock. I really didn't want to disturb it a whole lot and keep all the cycle going, you know, the sponge filter and everything else. But thanks for asking. It seems like he's doing okay, but I really can't add him back into this tank yet because I want to see him get a little bit more alive. I want to see him grow in this 10-gallon right now and get a little bit bigger. So that way, what I'm hoping for is he's probably going to stay in this 10-gallon for a while. And then once he gets bigger to where he can kind of like grow and kind of hold his own a little bit, then I can re-add him back into here. So I'm going to save him for future purposes. So that's the whole plan. Yeah, you might have. I was just trying to give everybody else to join in on the subscription and advertise. Oh, and you have now. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're one sub closer. You got that right, my friend. Marie's a very good channel mod. She's helping keeping things flowing and keeping the videos going and advertising for everybody else's channel and stuff. So Marie, you're a good trooper for this channel. I appreciate it. Yeah, sub for Vibes too. He's him and Curtis, man. They do like a Saturday night, I think, is what they normally do, a Thursday and Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. But their hangouts a whole lot of fun, and you can learn from them as well between Curtis and Vibes. I mean, they have a good show together. I do not have any biotope setups, and I probably will not do one in the future. Mainly because, like I said before, with the whole fry operation, I just have to make sure to maintain it and keep the fry growing, keep them growing, keep them, keep these grow out tanks, room. And I put a few fish in each setup of these tanks, but the main reason is I'm not doing any salt water or any type of biotope setups because I'm so involved in the fry operation that I need to focus on that right now before I get anything else. So that's why I'm not doing any of that. Yes, as Marie says, drop a comment and when you sub, guys, and they can sub back. That's perfect. Oh, cool. So anyone who doesn't know who this is the first time I think I've seen his channel, but I might have to rewatch his here in a little bit. And there's Mickey's and any brackish setups. Well, I guess technically no, but a lot of times, like the only thing I do is I might add aquarium salt, and that's about it. So I don't really have like any half and half saltwater tanks or anything like that. So no brackish. Off fish sub done. Perfect. There's Jim's Fish. Thank you, Marie, for advertising all this stuff. Welcome to Gboard Clipboard. Any text you copy will be saved here. I don't know what that is. Sorry, Jerome. I'm not sure what that is. But I think I'm going to end it here momentarily. If you guys have any other questions for me, let me know. I can hang out here for a little while longer. We're an hour and 38 minutes in. My wife and daughter just got home from swim lessons. She's been doing swim lessons for several months now, and she did them last year a little bit too. And I think we got like a few more of those swim lessons left before they end, and then she's going to do these dance lessons. And my daughter, we're actually not this weekend, but next weekend, which like this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So next weekend, we are doing her second birthday party. So that'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to have some family over and have some pizza and stuff. And hopefully everyone will enjoy the pool and we'll have hot, nice weather for everybody. So, I think I'm going to end this stream too. So if everyone wants to stick around and we'll send everybody on their way. Alana does really good with swim lessons. She has a lot of fun with it. I mean, she can't swim on her own right now, but like it's better to have her learn now because we have an in-ground pool than down on the road because, we need to make sure that she's safe and she learns, the sooner the better. So, you're welcome. Everyone have a great day. And I think I'm going to end it here. Thanks to all the new people, Vibes. Thank you for all the chat stickers and stuff. I really appreciate it. Marie, thank you for being the channel mod and keeping the flow going and advertising channels and the videos that I requested. We'll see you guys all soon. you guys can all head to the the next channel. I got to do some shopping around for some things with Ash and Alana. So, oh yeah, and thank you, George. Before I go, thank you for coming in and joining my live stream for a little bit. And I really appreciate you showing me around your setup and your different tanks that you're moving around and your progress. You know, I appreciate it. That was neat to see. With that being said, there's Deb's channel as well. So thank you, Marie. Thank you everybody else for hanging out. I think I gave my special shout outs to the people, the Maria the mod, the Vice for the stickers, and thank you, George, and everybody else, all the new people, and everybody else that continues to support me. I appreciate it. I'm going to let you guys go with the ending, and we'll see you guys again soon.